Here's from Mesmerized Online. Headline, Mets 2024 Positional Outlook. Starting pitchers. Now, we're going to get into this video. I'm going to just gloss over the Major League players, because now, as you know, there's a minor league channel. Talk about the Mets minor leagues and their prospects. But this is an interesting list, and it goes to the Mets starters. First of all, we know that Kodai Senga is hurt. So he's not going to be on the opening day roster, but he will be getting here at some point. I would expect probably him by May or June. Now, before we get into this video, you need to hit that subscribe button so you know what's going on with the Mets and their farm system and, of course, the prospects. Jose Quintana, 35 years old. He'll probably be the most obvious player that's going to start opening day. Luis Severino, who's had some good years. You know, he had some really good years with the Yankees. But it's been a long time since he's had good years, and he's been very unhealthy for a good portion of his career. He's not pitched on a regular basis and been very productive since 2018. It's a long time now. But he's pitched well in spring training. He's got a chance, if he is healthy, he's got a chance to be really good for this rotation and for this team. Sean Manaea, who, without his long hair, he looked like a totally different person. And he's actually had a pretty good spring. We'll see how he does. He signed a 2-year deal with the Mets for $28 million. I think he's got to opt out after the first year. He's pitched with the A's, the Padres, and be pitching for the Mets this year. Adrian Hauser, who's been up and down this spring, but he's been the number 6, 7 starter with the Brewers. And obviously the Mets traded for him in December from the Brewers. And he's been sort of like the 4th, 5th starter. We'll see how he pitches on a regular basis. He's never pitched more than 20 starts in a season. He's a low to mid 4.0 ERA kind of guy. We'll see. I've not seen him much, obviously being in Milwaukee, but we'll get a good look at him when the season starts. Tyler McGill, who pitched really well on Monday night, other than giving up a home run to Tim Anderson, he's pitched really well. He's had a very good spring, and he'll be in the rotation starting out. I've always liked him, but, obviously he has to keep the walks down. He's got to keep the ball in the ballpark. It's two things. It's kind of an obvious thing. Now, the guys that are the depth pieces and guys that have sort of had success on the major league level, but sort of on the bubble. First up is Jose Butto, who pitched in 2022. I think he had one start. He looked terrible. But last year he looked rather good in September, but it is September. He's one of these guys the Mets will have in AAA. Joey Lucchesi, who's left-handed. What's interesting about the Mets rotation this year is we're gonna have 2 lefties in the rotation with Jose Quintana and Sean Manaea. But Joey Lucchesi is the next left-hander. He's 30 years old. Now, he's been around for a while, but he had that injury obviously in 2022. He hurt his elbow, and he pitched really well last year. He looked really good. Then there's the upper-level guys. Now, I'm not going to mention David Peterson because obviously he's hurt. He's not going to be available until the middle of the season. But we have the upper minors, and then we'll go through what they have to say about, we won't even talk. We'll just do a general thing. There's Mike Vasil, who's the closest to the major leagues for the Mets. Right-handed pitcher. He's looked upon as a 4th, 5th starter. He had about 6 or 7 starts in AAA. So he's pretty close to the major leagues. Oh, let me read it again. 16 starts, 16 starts for Syracuse. But his walk-away rate was high. He has to get that down. He got sent down to a minor league camp. He'll start the year in AAA. Dominic Hamill. I would mention about Mike Vasil. He's not on the 40-man roster. So just so you know, Dominic Hamill, he's another guy. He's another pitcher who's not on the 40-man roster. He pitched in AA. He pitched in let me see. Hamill should get the call to Syracuse in 2024 after a successful stint in AA. He's down the line, but he'll be in AAA. We'll see if he gets called up to the majors. Christian Scott, who might be the Mets' best prospect in terms of pitchers, and he's the highest ranked one. He's a guy that's got high upside. He will start the year. Let's see what they say he's going to start the year. Doesn't really say. Maybe AAA. He's not as obvious as Dominic Hamill. After that, we got Blades Tidwell, who will probably start in Binghamton, or maybe even AAA. But he's had an up and down year. He pitched really well in Binghamton. Didn't pitch so well in Syracuse, but we'll keep our eye on him. He's not all these guys, all these young guys are not on the 40-man roster. Now they skipped up Brandon Sprout, which is a little odd. Let me read you what they have here. Sprout's yet to make his professional debut after being drafted 3 times, twice by the Mets. Fangraphs roster resource projects him to start at High A Brooklyn. He had solid numbers as a starter for the Florida Gators over the last 2 seasons. His age should speed up his progression a little bit, but he still has a ways to go before being major league ready. He does very hard. He goes about 100 miles an hour. So we'll see where he goes. Mets really liked him a lot. Tyler Stewart, talked about him a lot. He's on the 4-man roster. So he could be in double. He'll probably start the year in Double A, according to them, and probably make his way to Triple A. Whether he gets to the majors this year, might be pushing it. And there's another pitcher on this list, and he's been mentioned, but he's starting to drop because he has not been healthy. That's Calvin Zeeler. He missed half the season last year. Then he came in, and then he got another injury. So he's a guy to keep an eye on. Let's draft him in 2021, and he's really highly regarded. But we'll see if the Mets, what they do with him. I would expect he'll probably start in Brooklyn this year, I would think. I guess he has not pitched much in the last 2 years. So I'll keep you updated on his status. They don't mention him here, but he is somebody to talk about. Well, you let me know what you think about this video, of course. Please subscribe to the Prospect Hut. Have a good day, and I'll see you later.